Right, we're here for the Dodge S-Class track day. Sebring, Road Atlanta, Maple Valley, Bernese Alps. Let's go. But no, the thing that bugs me, like with the Puma, because this is about to be a rant. So, everyone in the car industry has turned around and gone, every car looks the same, they all look the same, they just look like they've copied each other and whatnot. And I'll agree with that. Like, Kia, all of their cars look exactly the same as those Chinese car makers that are making the electric cars. BMWs are starting to look a lot like Audis. Audis are looking a lot like BMWs. Volkswagens are looking like Audis. Yes, I know they're the same company, but they all look the same. Right? The second that Ford made something that wasn't the norm, like, the new Puma doesn't look like the old Puma. Understandable. I think people would have preferred it to look like the old Puma, but just modernized. But like, they made a car that doesn't look like every other car that's on the market at the moment. They gave it character. Like, yes, it looks like Kermit the Frog if you bought a green one, but it doesn't look like every other car that's on the market. And yet people are complaining that it looks awful. And like, it's those people that, like, that's what I see that's beautiful about the Puma, is the fact that it is not the norm, you know. The amount of cars nowadays that are made that look the same as each other. The Hyundais, the fucking Tesla. Well, Tesla has its own style, but they all look the same. Like, every single car looks the same. They have slight differences, but there's incredible similarities. You think even Ferrari made a car that looks like a Mazda? Like, a 300,000 pound Mazda. But no, the second that Ford made something that was different, people were like, ugh, that looks horrible. And like, you wonder why all the cars look the same, because we're all looking for the same thing now. Oh, that looks cool. Great, now the next car manufacturer is doing that because you said it looks cool. And then the one car manufacturer that makes their own style for a lot of their stuff, for the Ford Focus, the Fiesta, the Puma, the Mustang. People complain about the cars that look different. And I have a feeling, give it 5 years, Ford is going to be making cars that look exactly the same as everyone else's. Puma wasn't a crossover, I would be fine with it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think an SUV is worse than a crossover, in theory. Because an SUV is just unnecessarily large. And like, I think, because the Puma has off-road capability, so it will do what a hatchback can't really do. I think SUVs, a lot of people don't use it for what it should be. I think we should get rid of the SUV. Realistically. I don't know. Yeah, you can load up a lot of stuff in that, but you also can in crossover as well. Like, the Puma has quite a significant amount of space in it. I don't know, I think there is a market for a crossover. You know. You get a little bit more storage, but it doesn't feel like you're driving a fucking tank. You know, it's somewhere in the middle. Prefer wagons over crossover. Oh yeah, no, I prefer, like, I want wagons to become a thing again. Like, the only reason SUVs have become popular is because of the fact that everyone's buying them instead of like a wagon or something like that. Because, oh look, they're expensive. Alright, let's do this. Yeah. Wagons are like dream car kind of material. Like when you think like, I think BMW actually made one. Like they made a new one like 2 or 3 years ago. I want to say Misha. I don't know if you know, the guy that drives around the Nürburgring a lot, Misha Chaldrin or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But I think he ended up with a wagon. And I think BMW just supplied him with one. But he races with BMWs, so it's probably a partnership there. But no, he had like a wagon style car. It's like got a huge amount of boot space and stuff like that. But he needs it for like cars and whatnot. Taking like splitters and stuff like that. Stick it in the back seat, it's fine. I'll be honest though, I don't like the idea of like... I think a hatchback just ends up being a little bit too pointless. Especially with the size, they're just too small, they can't transport much. Like, that's kind of the whole point of the crossover. It feels like a hatchback, but you've actually got storage space. Like, that's the whole point of the crossover. Yeah, I suppose. It just depends what you're transporting. Nice. There we go, squeeze my way through. Yeah, I suppose. Come on. Nice. One more lap left. Need another 9 cars. 7 cars. 6. Come on. 5, 4. 3. 2. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. One more car. And there we go, done. Like, don't get me wrong, again, I don't think the Puma's the best car in the world. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But I think for what they've pulled off, for the price that they've pulled it off at, compared to some of the crap that we're getting now, like, some of the cars that you can buy nowadays are, like, ridiculous expensive for, you know, not a lot. You think Audis are now, like, 50 grand plus for a small hatchback. Mercedes are, like, 60 grand. Something stupid like that. Like, the Focus RS that came out then, yeah, the one with the drift button, the 2017 one, that car was unbelievable. It had like 300 something horsepower. It was fairly lightweight. Like, that was an incredible car. And like, I don't think any hatchback, like, I think that is the best hatchback ever. The best hot hatchback as well that has ever been made. Yeah, it was all-wheel drive as well. The only thing that pissed me off was they didn't ease us into that car. Like, it just came out. They were like, oh yeah, here's a, what's it called? Here's a new Focus. And, sorry, I didn't mean to pause out there. I had to check something. But yeah, here's a brand new Focus. Take a look at it. It's now the best thing that we make. And like, you look at older Focuses, they made the Mark 1 was like the Focus, and then they made an RS model and an ST model. And they made them more powerful, and they were like, yeah, here's a better version. They did that with the Mark II. I don't think they made a Mark III. But the Mark, like, that Focus, they didn't do anything with it. It was one of the best designs for the Focus as well. Like, that design was incredible, but they never made a standard Focus Mark III or whatever. And then 2019, they made, you know, the last Focus. That one didn't even get an RS model. That model, an ST, didn't even get an RS, as far as I'm aware. Reminds me of Hi-Fi Rush situation. What do you mean, Hi-Fi Rush situation? What do you mean? They're actually making a second Hi-Fi Rush. Also, I need to check what that notification was. Mike, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Right, we're going this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, and then outside again. Here's a game you can play tomorrow, and it was probably a good game, even without day one patch. 100%, yeah. I get what you mean now. Everybody feel it come around. If you guys are enjoying the stream or enjoying the videos, feel free to share them out. Greatly appreciate all the support. Everybody feel it come around. Everybody feel it come around. Look at the sound. Hey. Keep it going. We have hit the target, which is cool, so. Yeah, that's actually a good point. So the dev team got disbanded as far as I'm aware, because it was from Thingy. But then they've got another team working on Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, because they fired him because, what's it called? Ghostwire Tokyo wasn't that great. And then Hi-Fi Rush came out. Strange. Yeah, Steam Deck verification is stupid. obviously I've had a Steam Deck for about 2.5 years now. A lot of the games that they rate are incorrectly rated for what I would believe to be a good rating. So, for example, I think any game that is verified should be able to run at 720p 30 frames a second at all times. I think that should be a minimum thing to be classed as verified. There shouldn't be any launchers, so you should be able to click on the game, it will go straight into the game. There shouldn't be any options for, you know, it should just work, you know. Any issues that may crop up, like for example a launcher that you've got to click on a play button or something, though to be fair, I think launcher's not the end of the world. But like if you've got to sign into EA or you've got to sign into Ubisoft Connect, then yeah, I think that's only a playable game that should be classed as verified. 720p for Steam Deck or in general. For Steam Deck, yeah. To be classed as a Steam Deck verified game. I know it's technically 1280 by 800p, but 720p is like the 16:9 ratio for that, so that's kind of makes sense. But like, for example, and this is why I think some of it might be paid by developers, because what's it called? PlayStation released what's the game called? Horizon Zero Dawn. So when that came out, this is a standard game, by the way, not the remastered version, which has higher textures anyways than the standard one. The actual base game for Horizon Zero Dawn couldn't even run higher than 15 frames a second on low graphics in the starting area of the game. I couldn't play it past the starting area because the frame rate was so low. And they call that verified. They say that that's a great experience on Steam Deck, and it's not. It really is not. It should be able to run 30 frames a second as a minimum. That game is classed as playable. You know, Air USA got the first car, let's go. Let's have the lowest standard, right, compared to what it can push. No. I think if a game maxes out at 720p 30, I think that's still playable. Even if it uses the entire of the Steam Deck's processing power, I think that's fine. But a game should not, like, I was running it on low, like the lowest settings that you could do, and it still could not hit 30 frames a second at 720p. Like, at that point, there's an issue. A game should be able to do 720p 30 frames a second, and it'd be fine, you know. And like, when they turned around and said Horizon Forbidden West on PC is Steam Deck verified, I was like, how in the fuck have they verified this game? Because if Zero Dawn couldn't run at 30 frames a second at 720p, how the fuck is Forbidden West running? Like, and the fact that when they announced, oh yeah, it's verified, I'm like, how the hell have you pulled that off? Like, there is zero chance that game is running smooth. And I think that should be a minimum requirement. Oh, we were close to the target then. Almost. That was close. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, comment down below and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.